This video covers a simple use case of Pivotly acting as a unified data hub. We'll use Pivotly at the center of an integration for product data, which we'll call an item. In this example, item data will originate in a product lifecycle management (PLM) system, and it's integrated to an ERP, CRM, and a data warehouse. Item data will be then enriched in the ERP and the CRM, and the engineers working in the PLM would like to have visibility to the full data. This example is using an oversimplified data domain to keep the focus on the core functionality of Pivotly. In later examples, we'll demonstrate how Pivotly handles something more complicated, like a sales order. So let's get started. The first step is to create the domain in Pivotly. Domains can be configured manually, created by AI, or done in combination. Here, we've extracted the data from the PLM, and we'll use it to ask AI to create the domain. For our example, we wanted the ERP to control a value called planner code and the CRM to control attributes, color, and marketing description. So we'll add those attributes manually and publish the domain. Now that it's published, you can read and write to the item domain using the Pivotly API. To simplify the visualization of the apps working together across Pivotly, we'll use 4 Google Sheets to represent the apps. We've labeled them with example applications, and each of the apps have a read and write synchronization button that calls the Pivotly API. To begin, we key an item into the PLM system and synchronize with Pivotly. Switching to Pivotly, you can see the data in the Data Explorer. This is just a basic view of the data in JSON format. You can also deploy applications to allow interacting with the data through a nice UI. Those apps can be generated by AI or written manually. Back to the apps, the ERP synchronizes and receives the data that originated from the PLM. We update the planner code and synchronize with Pivotly. Switching back to Pivotly, you can see the new version of the record. The Data Explorer allows you to see all of the versions of your records, and you can see the most recent version, in this case, has been updated with the planner code. To finish out this first example, we'll add the color and marketing description in the CRM and resynchronize. In this demo, we are calling the Pivotly APIs, but the synchronization could also be initiated by subscribing to the data events published by Pivotly. That would enable apps to respond to data changes in other systems within a few seconds. Notice that all the versions are being streamed into the data lake, and you can see how the data is changing over time. We'll add a few more records and show how the ERP and the CRM can modify the records concurrently with all of the changes being preserved. After talking to Pivotly, you can see both the ERP and the CRM received updates with their own data intact. So let's pause for a moment and look at what we've built. We have fully integrated the systems and streamed the data to the data lake, and we've done it with the simple pattern on the left compared to the traditional approach on the right. We've avoided a bunch of issues, including point-to-point messages and tightly coupling systems. And we've deployed a simple, flexible, robust integration while making the data available for future use. It's reasonable to ask, why not just do this with a relational database? While that's a great integration pattern, and it's part of the inspiration for Pivotly, Pivotly has been built fit for this use, with a framework to make this easy, fast, and scalable. It provides a superior solution for this approach without having to spend the time and the resources to build one-off solutions. For the next step in our demo, we'll add a warranty system that also needs the product data, and we'll say that it requires a new attribute for the product master called warranty class. And that attribute will be maintained by the teams that work in the CRM. In this example, we've labeled our pretend warranty system Synchron. In Pivotly, just like we added the color attribute earlier, we'll add the warranty class attribute and properly set the read and write access. Here in our view of the applications, the warranty class field has been added to the CRM. We'll update that and post it to Pivotly. At this point, rather than do a full data migration and then build an integration on top of that, we've enriched the data, adding the warranty class, synchronized it with Pivotly, and so now it's ready for the warranty system, and you just have to turn on the integration. Persisting the data in Pivotly allows you to enrich it in place so that you can address a new requirement. The data work is simplified, and you can leverage the integration in place of doing a one-time throwaway migration. As a final stage, we're going to add an alternative PLM. Maybe the engineering group wants to manage a few product lines in a different engineering system, or maybe you acquired a company and you want to quickly enable manufacturing and selling the acquired products side by side with your existing products. First, we'll register the new system in Pivotly so that it has proper access to the domain. For our example, we'll call this second PLM Team Center. Flipping to the apps, you can see that our spreadsheet modeling Team Center is showing there in the top left, and all of the applications right now are fully synchronized. We add items to Team Center, and the new items show up in all the other applications, as well as the data lake, but not in Windchill because we set conditions to not load items from the alternative PLMs. Note that despite having two PLMs, each having part of our item master, we still have a full view of the item master in Pivotly, and all of that data is available to any consumer. So let's review what we've accomplished. We've delivered integrations across 6 applications using this simple approach rather than with the complexity of the traditional mess. With Pivotly, in this example, we've fully integrated applications while maintaining loose coupling, and we've done it quick and easy, while establishing a view of enterprise data for all consumers. Not only are integrations more easily built initially, maintenance is easier, and subsequent uses of the same data will dramatically accelerate your projects. In the warranty system example, we demonstrated that we could add a system and avoid doing a data migration simply by building an integration to Pivotly. And in the example of adding a second PLM system, we demonstrated how vendor lock-in can be reduced because swapping systems in and out does not impact the rest of the applications. These capabilities address the real difficulty with integrating systems, accessing and managing the data. Adopting new technology with this approach, especially AI, is significantly easier when you have the data. If you'd like to learn more, visit us at pivotly.com.